Hi guys, welcome back to Let's Play. Well, let's write more. Okay, so I'm going to go into another character study here for a person. We're gonna name her uh, Jida Vassos, aka Chase, is her nickname. Now, what she is well, obviously she's going to be a human female. There's a lot of humans in my story. There are some other races, but um, stick with female for now. Who knows? I could always change that later if I really want to. At this point, she's female. She is, well, she's not a member of a order of knights. She is, I guess you'd say a squire, like she's training to become a member. So she's training to become a member of an order of knights. Now, I don't have a name for these knights yet, but I will use the placeholder. Order of the Silver Seraph. That's going to be the name of the Order of Knights for now. Now, these knights, they were. This is important to her story, so I guess I'll start there. They were once guardians of the goddess Sandra. I mean, they still are, but they also branched out to protecting other people of influence, such as, politicians and wealthy merchants. They did this because they wanted to kind of open themselves up to the world. And not just be a reclusive order fixated on the goddess herself. Plus, it was a way to fund the order. Now, this was a good idea to start with, but this opened themselves up to pretty much being sell swords to the highest bidder, is what ended up happening. So they lost a bit of their identity. And honor in the process. Did spell that right? I did not. Okay. Alright, so I'm just trying to think. So, and she's not at the point where she realizes this just yet, but she does get there. and it takes her to lead them back from it to reclaim what they have lost. Okay. And how she realizes this is she was she is, I guess, yeah, was a bodyguard to a corrupt politician, and basically what happened is an assassin came to kill him. So, you know, it was her duty to protect his life, but yeah. Gotta get all this down. But in the course of her time, she started to realize just what he was about. He being the corrupt politician, of course. So the assassin kind of had him at knife point, right? And he's going to, like, he told, like, I'm trying to set the scene. Like, I'm not sure if where this happened just yet, or if she was there to start with, but I imagine she kind of comes in to stop him. I gotta think more about that, but let me get this out first. Okay, so she realized that her giving her life for him wasn't worth it. To prove it, she tells him that he doesn't value his own life enough to give her a proper weapon to defend him with. So, I mean, she knew that this was a cheaply made weapon, and it was pretty much done. It was pretty much made its cheapest way possible. You know, it wasn't a good weapon. And obviously he did that to cut corners and cut costs, right? He is a wealthy merchant. He's frugal, so you know. She is able to break the blade over her knee, just to show him how cheap it was. It is definitely made of, what would you call it, subpar material. So she basically lets the guy die. And this obviously puts her at odds with her order, so she failed in her duty and puts her at odds with the order. So she doesn't become one, she doesn't become a knight, at least to start with. Okay. Um, and I think that's very important because if this wealthy merchant doesn't value his life enough to give her the tools that she needs to protect him with, how can he expect her to, do her job properly, kind of thing? You know, you can imagine if she did, go to defend him, the assassin would just the sword would break, and he'd be able to kill her instead. So, and she'd be left defenseless, with nothing to defend herself with. And it's kind of sad because that kind of mirrors modern day too. Uh, I, I don't have any proof or stats, but it's something that I heard about, and definitely take anything that I say. Don't take it as absolute truth or fact. Definitely, you know, take it with a grain of salt. Do whatever you need to do to make sure that you don't become misled about anything I say. But I've heard that soldiers that get sent overseas, the weapons they are given to defend themselves are they're made at the lowest cost possible, right? To the lowest bidder, you know. So that's kind of draws parallels there. So, what else? I guess that's just, and I'm not sure where that's going to fit in to the story. Like if that's going to be how her story starts out. Probably not. It might start out a little bit before all this takes place. Maybe she just started to be this wealthy merchant's bodyguard. And I do know who the assassin is. He's actually going to be a character in the story. And he has a name. As for the politician, I don't, not yet. He's going to be a minor character at best, anyways. But the assassin probably will play a little bit bigger role in the overall story. But we're gonna stick with Jada here. How does she look? She's going to be of average height. She's going to be at least somewhat trained in weapon combat because of her role as a bodyguard. She'd been trained by the knighthood. What else? She's going to have probably short blonde hair. People will probably mistake her as a man at first. Because her face, well, it won't be hidden, but it will be somewhat covered by her helmet, the helmet of her armor. What kind of eyes? I'll just go with blue eyes. Blonde hair, blue eyes. And her armor obviously covers her body. She's going to be athletic and well conditioned. Trying to think if, yeah, we'll make her, she's daughter of a noble house. So she's gonna pretty much disgrace her house by letting this guy die. In fact, the house could have probably petitioned for her to get this position to kind of strengthen ties with the nobleman that she lets die, the politician. Corrupt politician. Of course, she's going to be athletic because of her rigorous training. Think of it kind of like the modern day boot camp, kind of, you know. You get put through your paces in the army in boot camp. Kind of the same idea here. I would say average height for a woman is around 5'6" at least, is what I hear. But she's probably going to be a little bit taller than that. We'll go with 5'9". She's going to be pretty tall for a female, but not crazy tall. That'll at least give her enough height, you know, to actually, for her to make sense to stay on par with the men. It'd give her enough chance to build up that kind of strength. Of course, if you look at me, I'm not one to talk. I'm skinny and very, very short. So, and to be honest, I could probably couldn't do boot camp in the army. Oh, who knows? I shouldn't sell myself short. But anyways, she's definitely going to be able to do it and excel. And that's the other thing. She was, and that makes it even worse, is because she did show so much promise. She was like pretty much the star pupil, I guess you could say. She was a star pupil. Now, this knighthood, this order, it doesn't just teach swordplay, like combat. They'd also teach like studies, like tactics and things like that, history. So she'd also be well versed in that. Also taught her tactics and history, that kind of stuff. And math, sure, why not? I don't know if I have anything more to say about her just yet. Um, I'll keep it there for now. So, that's going to be it for this episode, guys. Godspeed, stay frosty. See ya.